Welcome to the Best Bestie podcast. Have you ever felt like socializing can be draining as hell? Mm-hmm. Well, the truth is, it is. But does it always have to be? Let's be real, some of the relationships, some of our friendships can drain and suck the life right out of you. And some of our friendships can give you life.
Yep, that's facts.
And today, we're going to go into the red flags and the green flags of friendships. With me today are my besties, Anna and An, and I'm your host, Lisa. Each of us has a red flag and a green flag, and I'm going to share some stories, spill the tea, and we're going to talk about if these traits are healthy or unhealthy. Are you guys ready for the tea?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty, girl.
Alrighty. What if they one-up your good news instead of celebrating it?
Oh, what? One up? Like that means you kind of be better than it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a red flag.
Yep. Alrighty. What if they show up emotionally, mentally, or physically when it counts?
Hold on. How do they show up though?
Like, what if they're calling you or they're texting you? Alrighty. You feel a low-key sense of competition and not inspiration.
Oh, hell no.
That's not okay. You might be triggering me right now. You mean like whenever we share something, like they're competing with you instead of listening to you and being on your same team, like that?
Exactly.
Yeah, red flag.
Red flag. And I think we've all had situations in that, like growing up. Like I remember when I was younger, I had a childhood friend that I loved dearly, but I just never could celebrate the wins. And it was like everything I did annoyed her. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, why aren't you happy for me? Instead of being happy for me, I would be met with just discontent or very nonchalant. And I didn't know what it was until I got older and realized it was competition, maybe a hint of jealousy.
Wait, but did she ever tell you, or like how did you figure it out?
I actually didn't. So because I was really young, I knew her for a long time, family friend. My mom and my grandma and my aunt actually told me. And they're like, I don't think you guys mix. You guys are like oil and water. Ooh. And I remember for a long time, I was like, no, we're good. We're best friends. Yeah. And I
Family don't do that.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't see it. And I was just like, no, everything's good. And we were, we grew up together, and it wasn't until around high school I started to realize and see the flags and see everything. And I was like, oh, I guess they were right.
You mean these flags?
What were some of the flags that you saw?
She used to talk about me. So what was interesting, we would always... So what was interesting is that we stayed friends because we had the history where we knew each other for a long time, but we always had fights.
Ooh,
and
that's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
But the thing is, we would have falling out, but we become friends again, and it would be on and off. And every time we would not be friends, I would hear from other friends, mutual friends, and they would tell me, "Hey, so and so really doesn't like you."
Damn.
Yeah. and then eventually they'll tell me, they'll be like, yeah, but everything she says about you is never about anything that you've done. It's always been either, it's always something about physical and attacking you.
Ooh.
Because I would be like, why didn't she like me? Like, what did I do?
Sounds like she was projecting some insecurities.
Yeah, which I realized when I got older.
That's rough. I'm sorry you went through that.
It's okay. Major red flag. But what about this green flag? They check in even when they're going through something too.
I mean, I can relate because there's times when we done that for each other.
Yeah.
And when we would like have our conversations on FaceTime or something, we all talk about the things that we're going through. And when somebody else says, "Oh, I'm going through this," it's not a "what about me?"
Right.
Or you like, I don't feel like, I guess, like accepted or validated, but it's more of like, okay, let me make space for you also.
Yes.
So that we can both share the things that we feel. And when we notice that one person is obviously going through it harder, it doesn't mean we suppress what we feel.
Yeah.
It just means let me show up for them first.
Yes.
And then let me communicate my needs as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is like, sharing the space.
Yeah, and it's awareness. It takes a level of awareness, and I feel that we do it very beautifully. And it's beautiful because sometimes it's like, oh, I have this win I really want to share, but it's like, wait, they're going through it.
Yeah.
Let me put this on hold. Let's focus on each other first. And we're always there for each other.
I'm giggling because I remember there was this time I was going through a little rough patch, and I'm going through it. I'm calling Hannah and going through it and telling her about my day and how I'm gonna tackle it. And I was like, "What are you doing today?" And she was like, "Nothing." And I was like, "No." I was like, "What do you mean nothing?" And she was like, "Okay, fine. I'm gonna go get a facial." So thank you for holding it back.
Wait, I don't get it. Why did she do that?
She held it because she knew that I was going through a rough patch.
She was like, yeah, it's my day. What are you going to do today? I was like, this is a self-care day. I was like,
you didn't want to overshadow.
She didn't want to overshadow, so she was letting me.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I love you. I want to celebrate your self-care day too.
I know. Yeah. And I appreciate that. And you said that. And you're like, I don't want you to hold back. And then you said, I feed off of you having a good day and you winning. So
yeah, if you're having a facial, you tell me how good it was.
No, but it was so like obvious and just like abrupt. She was like, okay. And then I was driving and I was like, all right.
And she's like, I'm just going to say it.
I'm just going to say it. I'm obviously lying. I'm going to get a facial right now.
That's what you call a good ass friend, you know? Like, you just want to not overshadow and not overpower, just in consideration of how it should make them feel. And I think it makes you even better friends. You'd be like, no, give me some of that energy, you know?
Yeah, share your wins with your besties.
Yes.
Okay, this one might be a little on a different note. What about when they only reach out to you when they need something?
Definitely red flag.
Red flag.
But does it mean just because they reach out to you because they need something, does that mean it's a red flag? Or is it non-even transaction?
They only need something for their own ulterior motives.
So I feel like, when we have friends, we're here for each other, right? And it's a give and take type situation. So I actually have a story about this where I had a friend. And
hold on. I think this needs some tea.
Oh! She's about to spill the tea.
So I had this friend and the relationship was very one-sided. And sorry, I'm a little trigger happy. Yeah.
Like,
and so it was very one-sided, and she would only hit me whenever she would hit me up. She would ask me, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" And of course, I'm excited. I'm like, "Yeah, let's hang out." But then it would always be followed up with, "Okay, cool. Can you go pick up XYZ?" And the first couple times, I was like, "Yeah, sure. It's on the way, I guess." But over time, I realized it was always a same pattern.
Was it a convenience thing too?
It was definitely a convenience thing. And then it made me question, like, are you trying to hang out with me, or are you just trying to make me mule your tapioca or mule whatever you want? And that didn't make me feel good. And it was, I didn't like it.
Tell them you're not Uber Eats.
I'm not Uber Eats, man.
Yeah.
So speaking of it being one-sided, because I was always giving in that relationship, it eventually got really draining for me. And so we talk about, do friendships give you life, or does it take away energy? And it took away my energy because have you ever had it where people used you like a trash can and just unloaded on you? Oh, right? And I found myself always there listening to her problems, her life, and honestly ended up consuming a big part of my life. Wow. And I actually didn't see an issue at the time because I wanted to be there.
Because you think you're being a good friend.
I think I'm being a good friend. I'm listening and I'm there for her. And I'm like, yes, I'm here for you. But when I realized that it was very one-sided was when I started to go through things and I started to struggle. I realized that I felt alone. And I was like, wait, where is she? And then I started to notice, wait, she never checks up on me. And
Definitely.
she never checks up on me. She never follows up on me. And then I started to think to myself, wait, what happens if I don't message her?
Ooh.
And what I found is if I never made the effort, I didn't put initiative in, nothing happened.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened though. Like like how long did it take? I'm curious.
So, and you guys know this. It's really to share with you guys. So the tea is this actually took me a long time to get to this point because for a long time she was actually a green flag. Ooh. And because when I was going through it, I'm like, man, it's red flag, red flag, red flag. But the reason why I put up with it, not put up with it, I don't want to say that, but the reason why
make excuses
I
for
made
their behavior.
excuses for her behavior and I overlooked
it's
it.
because they are
It's because they're busy. It's because, they don't have capacity and they don't have, this.
I've used that
No,
one a
they
lot.
don't have capacity for you. They definitely have capacity. They definitely have capacity for all the other problems they have in their life to share and dump onto you. They just don't have capacity for the respect for you.
Damn.
And but I overlooked a lot of it because there were green flags, right? When we were good, and when I say good, it was when we were aligned. She was a good friend. She did put effort. But when she began to cross my boundaries, what I realized when I was a red flag is I didn't communicate my boundaries. I never let her know that I didn't like doing these things, or I let her talk to me a certain way. I didn't communicate my boundaries to say, hey, that's actually disrespecting me. So that was over a series of years.
Yeah.
And by the time I started to grow and I started to change, it was a bit too late in that relationship and a lot of the damage was done.
Wow.
And so and that's one thing to keep in mind too, is that in friendships, we grow and we shift and we evolve all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we start off aligned, sometimes our values are aligned, but when we change, we grow, things change. And what happened for me is that when I started to realize those are my boundaries, when I started to change, she actually started to have a reaction. And instead of seeing that I was growing and that who I was years before, I was no longer that person. Instead of seeing that growth, it was labeled as, oh, Anna's being stuck up. Yeah, or Anna, you're being weird, right?
No.
Yeah.
Stuck up. Like, that's so frustrating. I'm so frustrated to just even hear that you've gone through that, because knowing the type of friend that you are, you have so much patience. You have so much kindness. And even when something's done wrong onto you, you kind of try to see the good side of it and give them the benefit of the doubt. And to see you labeled like that, I'm about to get into a fight right now. Shit.
But ultimately, I will say this. Because of this situation, it changed me. And it really taught me a lesson. And moving forward from
What's the lesson, girl?
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Tell us the tea.
Communicate your boundaries from the beginning. And if you start to change, communicate it, right? And I learned from that. And it was very apparent when that friendship shifted. The new friendships that came into my life actually became deeper and they became better because I learned from my past mistakes. And so I had a new friendship that came in where they crossed my boundaries in the beginning and they disrespected me. I didn't like the way they talked to me. And I had a conversation with them and I said, hey, I really enjoy the vibe. I really enjoy our friendship and I want this friendship to last a long time. But the reality is you disrespected me here and I told you once and you did it again and it's okay because now I cannot tell you, hey, remember the time I told you disrespected me? This is you doing it again. But
We like that.
the thing is, if you don't listen to me and I'm telling you you're disrespecting me, I'm gonna have to recalibrate this friendship because that's not gonna be okay with me.
That's good.
Damn, I never want to hear that. But let me ask you this, because I'm sure that whenever you draw really strong boundaries, that silence or that withdrawal can get kind of lonely sometimes. And I feel like some people tolerate certain behaviors that they know aren't healthy, that aren't aligned, because they don't want to feel that loneliness or that rejection. So did you feel that at all after
The second after the situation or
after
during?
the situation?
After situation, no, because I knew what was gonna happen if I did it.
Right.
So the risk of me not speaking, the risk of a friendship not fully being as authentic it can be was higher than my discomfort of having the conversation. Conversation was difficult. I didn't know how they were gonna respond. Right? They could have immediately been like, girl, you crazy.
But you know, sometimes you got to do the hard things. You got to eat the broccoli.
What do you?
So what's eat the
What do you mean by
broccoli?
that?
Well, because like nobody likes to talk about these things.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to say to their friend's face, hey, these are my boundaries.
Right.
If you don't respect my boundaries, I'm gonna have to recalibrate your ass. You know what I mean?
I said it nicer.
I'm gonna have to recalibrate your ass.
Not the finger guns.
No, but I think eating the broccoli is a saying. It's like, I mean, some of us love broccoli, but it's a saying. It's a saying that you just gotta do the hard
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
You gotta have the hard conversation.
Right.
You gotta process the hard feelings.
Yes.
You gotta sit in the hard silence.
Yep.
And you know, it's kind of cute. So not that bad.
And I will say this. I'll say this last point about boundaries is that when you're building a friendship and you communicate these boundaries, you give that person an opportunity to show you how much you matter to them.
I
Right?
like that. Hold on. Say that one more
Say
time.
it, say it.
I
Run
wanna
it back,
process
run it back.
that.
You communicating your boundaries gives that person an opportunity to show you how much you care, they care about you.
That's true. Because even if they don't fully understand or agree, it gives them the chance to talk to you
Yes.
more deeply about
Yes.
why those boundaries
Yes.
exist, maybe some of the traumas from past relationships.
Yes.
What does respecting your boundaries look like? And even for them to communicate their boundaries because
Exactly.
it's an open conversation.
And sometimes you can actually find out it was a misunderstanding and you learn more about them, right? And so you really do everyone a disservice when you don't communicate your boundaries.
That's right.
well,
Good. Let me ask you a question, Anna. In that first relationship, this first story you told, do you think the red flags were always there, or do you think it turned into a red
Yeah, so
flag?
that's a really good one because some people are just red flags.
Yeah.
That start off. They got some inner work to do.
Yeah.
Some people are green and then they turn red.
right.
In this situation, I feel it was a bit mixed. So what I mean by that is simultaneously the green flags was she was helping me grow, right? She is actually one of the reasons, and I'm always going to be forever grateful. She was the catalyst of me turning from a girl and turning into a woman.
Ooh,
And so I will, my heart was always be there for her. But she gave me so much value in challenging me, keeping me accountable. But at the same time, there was a rigidness that made me kind of afraid to be who I was, right? And so I was walking on eggshells for a little bit. But in the beginning, when we were really aligned, values were aligned, the green flags overweighed the red.
Oh yeah.
Some of
I
it
see.
was there. But like the red flags of like asking how I was and following up and, you know, tapping into that was never really there. But I didn't see it as much of an issue. But also it was because in the beginning, I still had a lot in my cup to give in terms of
right.
the friendship, right? But when it got to the point where it was no longer, it was like, hey, man, I've been giving, I've been listening.
Right.
I've been taking all the dump. It's been years.
Yeah.
That's when the tips,
Yeah. I can
the scales tipped.
Yeah, I completely understand, and I can think of a green flag that turned red too. I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I was in Austin, I didn't have a lot of girlfriends, and I met this one girl at a party, and we see each other at events, and I'm just trying to make girlfriends, right? We've all been there, and we always met at parties. And so, we would always be drinking, and I noticed she liked to, talk shit and just like friendly banter. But as we got closer, I started to realize there was a pattern every time we went out. She would drink quite a bit, and she would be getting into fights with other people.
wait, I mean, fights like verbal.
She would she would try to fight people. She would
Like
try to get physically, but it was mostly verbal, which is worse because it's emotional. Emotional damage.
Powerful, yeah.
So then I started to realize as we, hung out more and went to more events, this wasn't just friendly banter. This was mean. This was shit talking.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, you got to be aware of, people can change, and sometimes it's a green flag can turn into a red flag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Alrighty, let me dive into some more tea.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, how about this one? They give you tough love when you're struggling.
What kind of tough love?
They're telling you how it is. They're telling you what you need to do. They're telling you get your shit together.
It's green. I would say it depends how.
Right.
It depends how. right? Because you need people to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Right.
But then also you don't want to kick the dog when it's down.
My stance on this is sometimes you have so much love for somebody and you're so frustrated that they're not bettering themselves.
Yeah.
And maybe you're just like so frustrated because they keep making the same mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
And saying it lightly or suggesting it doesn't work.
It's not gonna cut it.
And I feel like arguably if you don't love them, then you wouldn't say something.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about how you say it.
Delivery.
Okay. So
Delivery.
how about this? Giving tough love when they're struggling is a green flag.
It is.
But how you say it can
When-
make
yes.
it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
when.
And when you say it,
yes.
yes.
It's true.
What about this one? They constantly interrupt you or steer the. I said they constantly interrupt or steer the conversation back to themselves.
Okay, that's definitely a red flag.
We don't like those people. Alrighty.
Let me talk.
Honestly, that grinds my gears so much. It really does, because whenever they do it for the first time, you're just like, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
And then they do it the second time, and you're like, okay, sure. And they do it the third time, and you're like, I mean, if you want it, you can take it, right? And then they do it the fourth and the fifth time, and I was like, this person's talking to themselves. Like, they didn't hear a thing I said. And I feel like at some point it becomes disrespectful to your attention.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that, then go talk to a mirror. You know? Why are you using my ears?
Okay, on the other side of this, as a person that used to interrupt people a lot, it's not because I don't want to hear myself talk. I would just get so excited. I'm like a squirrel, right? I'm like a Labrador, golden retriever. But I realize, I think it's your bestie's duty to be like, hey, can I finish? I'd be like, oh yeah. So sometimes I just get excited.
Okay, so I would say like doing it a lot and not hearing the feedback and not
Right.
being respectful.
Yes.
And when people say something about it, you do it anyway. Red
Yeah,
flag, right?
absolutely.
But if you're bursting with excitement and you have so much to say, so much love to give, then I feel like okay, like if it's how you do it, right?
Yeah, but you can train the puppy, Be like, I know you're really excited, but let me finish.
Okay, that's really cute. I like that.
Train the puppy.
Right. Okay, let's go into another one. They ask thoughtful follow-ups after you've gone through something hard.
Definitely. But can we
And
give
even-
an example?
Yeah, even better than just thoughtful follow-ups, I have a story for you guys. And it's Lisa.
Aw, she's a green flag.
She's green. So I remember when I was going through my breakup, I was, going through a hard time, and you showed up in a way that I could have never thought to even ask for. This girl FaceTimed me every day for a month.
I had to check in on my bestie.
Yeah, it wasn't just a thoughtful follow-up. No, she called me every night, every day for a month. And there was actually times when we were on FaceTime, I think the record was we were on the phone for 8 hours.
Oh, God. Wow. I don't know if that's embarrassing.
Yeah. We were cleaning the room. Then we actually learned that you can screen share on FaceTime, and we were doom scrolling on Instagram together.
We're going through the archives. That was a lot of fun.
I
and
know.
I'm happy that I could be there for you during that
Thank
time.
you. And what you taught me, I thought I was a good friend, but that experience showed me that there was another level of friendship that I didn't even know was possible.
Right.
So thank you.
Love you. Alrighty. Ooh. They make jokes at your expense, but they always say, I'm just kidding.
It's never, I'm just kidding. It's never, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Okay. I would say I'm confused because I grew up in an environment where shit talking is a love language.
Right.
Oh, y'all are
And-
savage.
Okay. Shit talking is a love language. And I felt like as far as how I grew up with brothers and in a Vietnamese household, like talking shit was a way of showing love, paying it's like attention, showing care. Probably not the most healthy, but many times, like especially I think of my brothers, like they talk shit to me. And they haven't said anything nice, but they would talk shit to me, and in a way, I'm like, "Oh, you noticed that my shirt is ugly? Thank you." But if they don't say anything, then they just don't care. So maybe I'm traumatized. I don't know. Like, is there a version of this where you can talk shit jokingly,
Yes.
but still be a green flag?
Yes, yes. So the joking is good, right? How you control on each other. There's a safety there, but it's the intent, because you can sometimes tell when it's malice.
That's good.
Like where it's like you're
Hold
in
on, let me think about my brothers for a moment.
okay,
I can't tell. But I would say that they do it partly because they know I can handle it. Two, they want to connect with me.
yeah, because they don't know any other way.
They don't know any other way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
three, I don't think they actually want to hurt me.
Yeah.
But what's another
So
example?
it's not malice.
Okay,
So,
not malice.
Not malice. So for example, like if you're hanging out in a group, everyone's chilling, everyone's having fun, and then out of nowhere your friend thinks it's funny to bring up something that might be personal, right? That might be personal, that might be shared between you guys, and make fun of something. that
teasing
might-
you about something that hurts.
Yeah, teasing something that
okay.
hurts and something that's vulnerable, or even something that was shared in private, to try to make a joke on you.
I got it. That's kind of mean. But
Yeah.
also notice that some people, they bully.
Yeah.
And some of it is out of like unawareness
Yeah.
and not knowing what to say and saying it out of like uncomfortable and like
Yeah.
I just don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And other people like deep down inside they kind of like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean also by malice? Like
Yeah.
in a way of
And it also like you also have to have a foundation too, right? And it's like trust your intuition, trust your intuition, and I feel like you also learn because when you're becoming new friends, you're learning each other's boundaries. And if they cross a line, let them know. If they tell you, hey, no, that really wasn't meant for anything, then it's like, okay, they're cool. And then you can kind of figure that out. And then some people, I have relationships with some people where the trolling is just open.
Yeah.
Right? But then there's some other people, I'm like, hey, I don't know you like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a
true.
safe space.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, if you're talking shit and you're teasing somebody, you better get ready to be punched back too, all right? Or go dish it out if you can handle it.
Yeah.
True.
Alrighty, how about this one? They conveniently forget to pay you back or conveniently forget to chip in.
Oh, that was a big sigh.
I feel like
What you gotta say about that, On?
okay. I feel like in maybe Asian culture,
Yeah.
it's a sign of respect,
Yep.
generosity, and it's like a cultural thing, right? And I feel like whenever it's reciprocated as a sign of like I want to take care of you,
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
take
yeah,
care
yeah,
of you,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
I
you
got you.
yeah, it's like
You
a
know,
receiving
I
of
appreciate
love,
you,
right?
yeah.
And the reason why I gave out this big sigh is because I feel like some people take it for granted. Like some people are like, oh, well, they can afford it, or
Yeah.
oh, they always do that, or oh, like that's just how they do things, and it kind of loses its essence
Yeah.
of like
Entitled.
honoring it, right?
Yeah.
And so I personally feel like I'm mostly generous, and I really don't mind, and like to me, the time and sharing something is really important. But I guess whenever it crosses a line where they don't even notice it as generosity,
Yeah.
or they're, I don't want to say entitled to it, but it loses its essence of the generosity.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
red flag.
Yes,
Okay.
Red.
How about this one? They give you advice without asking if you want it.
Was it good advice? Okay, mostly no. Because even if it's good advice, if it's done that way, it's also a sign of not respecting them. It's also a sign of looking down on them, belittling them. It's a sign of not like asking for permission or asking what their needs are is a sign of respect
Right.
and fulfilling a specific need instead of a righteous point of
Right.
view or this is what you need to ought to do. So I would say definitely red flag, even if the advice was good. I don't know.
So I'm guilty. I'm guilty. So I actually used to do this all the time, right? So I'm guilty.
Let me drink my tea. Spill more tea.
So I used to tell, whenever I'm hanging out with people and they're going through something, they're venting to me, they're sharing these things, I used to feel like it was like my duty to like pour into them. And I was like, I gotta say this and speak life and give them these tips and just blah. But then I realized that I was injecting my values onto them. And although most of them did take it in, there were some that I realized that they weren't even asking. And what I've learned from that is if I feel that I want to tell them, it's like you said, ask for permission. So now if I feel it in my spirit and I feel a pull where I want to pour into them because of what they've opened up vulnerably to me, I ask them first,
Absolutely.
do I have the permission to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear? And they'll tell me yes or no. And then I will also say, I'm going to share with you what I think. I can be wrong. Please let me know if I'm wrong.
I love that.
Yeah.
And also adding to it is like following up. Like, so what did you think about that
exactly.
information?
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell based on their response. They're like, thanks.
Yeah.
Or be like, I didn't see it that way.
That's so
or,
true.
Thank you
Or-
for bringing it to my
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Even if they don't fully agree with it right away, you'll see if they have any appreciation for it
Exactly.
whatsoever.
Exactly.
And if you get any kind of thanks,
Yeah.
then you probably should give it again.
Right. Because if you're giving advice without them wanting it, then you're just interjecting your own
Exactly.
values onto them.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
That's a red flag
I know.
to me.
Guilty, but I'm green now.
alrighty, how about this one?
I love these, by the way. You're doing great.
Alrighty, let's say they take accountability quickly and show effort to change their behavior.
That's
Nice.
green.
Green.
I love it.
Love that one. They match your effort, not perfectly, but consistently.
Consistency is important. I think because consistency builds trust in your reputation, right? There's a saying that says time either exposes you or promotes you. And so they might match your energy at this one event, but if they don't consistently, then there's some
Yeah, you can kind of see
fakeness.
it.
Yeah. It might have been, the situation, environment. So
I love that. And I think, look, just because you give feedback or advice and they don't take it or apply it, it's not fair to hold it fully against them because everybody processes it differently. Everybody transcends their challenges in a different way. And just because they heard you and didn't do it doesn't mean that they didn't really like hear you. Maybe they just don't fully know how, or they're still figuring it out. And so have some grace, and it's always good to just have the conversation. You'd be like,
Right.
why is it that I'm asking this twice? Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like that's what a best bestie should do.
Yeah.
If you're a green flag, right?
Yes.
But a red flag bestie would be like, you haven't changed.
Right. Okay. Ooh, this one's interesting. They call you out publicly, but with good intentions.
Wait. With good intentions.
still. So good intentions, I understand, but there's an awareness, right? So I understand sometimes in the moment you see something and you want to tell them right on the bat,
Right.
hey, you're wrong here.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that, blah, 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 right? But there's some conversations that conversation of you correcting your friend, that doesn't need to happen in front of an audience.
No.
Because that's not for them.
Right.
That's a conversation that you and I need to have, and I'll wait and pull you aside and tell you the feedback.
Right.
Hey, during this situation, I don't think you handled it the best way. I feel like you might have done X, Y, Z, and this is what I think you should do. 1, 2, 3, right? And so I don't think, it could be good intentions, but pull them aside.
Gotcha.
I would say it's a orange flag or whatever color you get when you
Yellow?
nasty to yellow. The reason why is because, for one, the good intentions is there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that that person is probably thinking like, I'm trying to help them anyway. But if you really think about it like this, giving them some sort of harsh feedback like that is already one thing that they have to handle. But if you do it in front of other people and publicly, now you just gave them two things to handle, not just one. So the fact that you just multiplied it and gave them more to deal with, instead of just giving them the one piece that they need to deal with, is a red flag.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. They talk shit about other people with no interest in a solution.
Oh.
Hate that shit.
All right.
My ears literally can't hear it.
All right.
I'm like, it's like it burns my ears. Like it kills my energy.
But my question is, how do you respond to it? Like when it's happening, like what do you do, and how would you navigate it if it's happening to you?
So, okay. Are they talking bad about somebody to you and it's one-on-one, or is it in a group setting?
No, one-on-one.
One-on-one. Okay. And they're just gossiping.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
Or
gossiping,
venting.
Or
that
talking shit.
They're just like, this bitch,
Yeah.
and they did this wrong, and I'm right, and they're wrong.
Okay.
And fuck them, and da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then you're just waiting for the kicker. You're waiting for like some sort of, therefore I'm not going to be friends with them anymore.
Yeah.
No, but they're going to turn around and do the same thing that they're doing.
Got it. And be fake. Okay. So how do I say this? In those situations, that's when I realize that I'm not in alignment. And for me personally, I don't like gossip. And if you want to stay in that negativity and toxic mindset, I'll do my best to support, but sometimes there's a recalibration.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because it just really kills my energy.
I guess on I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Yeah.
I guess on what would you do in that situation? Maybe, somebody was just going off, talking shit. How would you make that friend? How would you make that bestie kind of stop?
I think there's no like clear-cut answer. I think the first thing naturally is I would listen. And let's say it gets past a point where I'm like, all right, there's no resolution. They're not circling back. And my ears are kind of tired. And then they keep going. And then I might try to see if there's some sort of end to this. And I say, okay, well, I understand that's how you feel, but do you feel that it's enough to do something about it? And they'll be like, huh? And I'm like, okay. And say, okay, well, if you feel that way, would you do something to not feel that way anymore? Huh? And then if they continue to do that, then I would start to draw my boundary and saying, I really feel for you. I would hate for you to continue feeling that way. But if you have no interest in doing things to not feel that way, then it doesn't serve me to listen and absorb a lot of this energy from you. And I still love you in all these different areas, but I would appreciate it if you just stop talking about that thing. Because it's taking up space in my mind and my heart. And just like you, I don't know what to do with it. So now we both carry the same trauma, and I appreciate it if you just stop trauma dumping on me. Is that a fair?
I think that's good.
I love that.
I like that.
I love that. And you also give them an opportunity to be like, actually, you know what? Maybe I do want to do something about it.
Then we go back to step 3.
I know. Now we talking. Let's put a solution together.
Now it's productive.
Let's figure something out. Yeah.
Alrighty, how about this one? They ghost you for weeks, but then they come back like nothing happened.
That's fucked up.
They came back.
Like nothing happened.
They came back.
Like nothing happened. Okay. So for the most part, it would be red, right?
Okay.
But the caveat is it also depends how deep in the friendship are you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go through seasons.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So it depends on where you are, what's the foundation. And that's what I love about us, right? And so there were times where literally I was, where's Anna? I don't know. But it's because I'm busy doing my own thing. I'm focused. And there are times when An wasn't even in the country.
She on the other side of the world.
An, are you okay? Like no response, right? But because we have this foundation,
Right.
we don't take that silence as, oh, they don't,
Right.
they don't care about
That's
me.
true.
That's
But
good.
they're going through their season. They're going on, their own personal life. And there's a safe space for you to come back and we'll pick up where we left off.
Yeah.
But it depends, right? So can you talk about, what are your thoughts about
When you leave us.
I fully agree with what you're saying. But I guess what I was thinking could be a red flag is when they do that and it's like there's no pattern. And then when you ask like, hey, how have you been? Where have you been? Like, just at the gym.
what do you mean? Just the gym?
Well, you live there now? Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
And they just don't really give you any depth.
Yeah.
And it honestly sounds a little shady, right?
Yeah.
And the truth
Are
is,
you dealing drugs?
we don't do that here, Anna. But I feel like many times it's things like they get into relationships, they fall into shameful habits.
Yeah.
They, I don't know. It's and when the pattern isn't like deep or like isn't some sort of like, how do I say, usual behavior,
Yeah.
then it steps into the territory of like not being able to trust what they say.
Yeah.
And I think it goes into like the unsafe,
Yes.
untrust.
Yes.
But you're right. If there's trust and safety, then, not much needs to really be said.
Exactly.
But whenever, they have no reason for why they didn't respond to you or disappear or didn't show up to things and I guess didn't communicate it in consideration of how that might have made you
Right.
feel, then I think that makes that a
Yeah.
bit of a red flag.
Yeah.
I agree.
I definitely
We're
think
in alignment.
Communication is key for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, I have one that just happened to me not too recently.
spill
not
the
too
tea.
not too long ago. I had made plans with a friend, but they canceled last minute. Actually, it was
that happens, right?
4 hours later after we were supposed to do the meeting time. It was a dance class.
Wait, did they cancel after the event?
They said the dance class was at 11 and it was 2 p.m. and said, hey, I'm not going to make it.
No shit, bitch. Okay, so my question is this the first time it happened or does it happen a lot?
First time it's ever happened.
First time.
I mean,
Everyone gets a pass.
Okay. But she was out drinking the night before.
Okay.
But you already had this scheduled.
We already had the schedule.
I mean, she didn't consider that.
What do you think?
I mean,
But she made the plans with you.
yeah, okay, yeah. Okay.
But
the reason,
wait,
okay.
there's another plot twist. She's going through a breakup.
Oh, well.
So that's why I'm hesitating, right? Because part of being friends is also giving each other grace. We are talking
agree.
about all this grace about green flag, but truth is, you're gonna go through some stuff.
Yep.
And you're gonna be a red flag.
Yep.
We have both of them.
True.
And when we're going through certain seasons where we may not be our best self,
Right.
we're not gonna make the best decisions.
Right.
And when you have great friends and a good tribe and community, there's a safety that you know that even though when you mess up sometimes, they're not going to all of a sudden cut you off, right? That's very traumatizing. Like that's you walking on eggshells. Okay?
That is
I don't know if they're really going to be there. True friendship is safety, knowing like, man, they are with me through thick and thin.
Yeah.
My best times and my lowest.
Right.
Right. And so there's an understanding of knowing your friend's going through something.
Right.
They're not 100% here because their mind is somewhere else.
Yep.
And there's let them know, hey, yo, you messed up and that hurt me.
Right.
But also, I love you. Can we talk about it?
Yes.
How can I be there for you?
Yeah.
And how can I show up for you?
I love that. That was so well said.
You're such a sexy green flag.
I know.
I'm pink.
Sorry, we didn't have a pink flag for you.
What are
Okay.
your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Do you have any?
No, I love it. I fully
Okay.
agree. We're in alignment. No, but I'm on the same page.
Okay, love that. You feel safe being 100% yourself around them. Sexy green flag.
That's it.
But I feel like that doesn't just happen.
It
right?
doesn't. It takes work. and-
It takes work, and it takes like inching away vulnerability and then matching that vulnerability
Yes.
and
Right.
making it safe for them
Yes.
and seeing them as they are and working through these things. So
Yes.
I would say major green flag.
Yes.
But when you see that, like that just didn't happen,
Yeah.
right? It takes equal work on both sides, and it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Like once you have that level of vulnerability, authenticity, safeness, I feel like you can really flourish as a person, as a friend, because you really get to express all parts of yourself.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm grateful for you guys. Y'all let me bloom.
A little notice.
You can sit in silence together and it doesn't feel awkward.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time.
I think that to add to that is like whenever you have such a safe place or safe friendship, you can also say, hey, I think you talked enough.
Yeah, they're talking about me. They're talking about me.
Maybe you go on airplane mode.
Talking about me. Anna, take a break.
Anna, go on airplane mode.
Reserve your battery.
No. There was a time in Thailand. Tell them the story about the Fogo de Chao.
So we're in Thailand, right? And me and Lisa, I mean, we've been staying in the same hotel. Like we have this
For like almost a month.
yeah, for a month.
Every
So-
day with each other. Every morning.
day.
Every night.
So we all have different times of the day that we wake up, and everybody has their own little routines. And you know, your morning time is like your sacred time.
Yes.
You know, you go at your own pace. You do the things that really wake you up, recharge you, connect you to the divine. And you know, me and Lisa was like, hey, let's do some like spiritual hour. Let's like
We're quiet.
We're journaling.
We're lighting
We're-
some Palo Santo.
we're in our element. And Anna, she just has a different morning routine. And, you know, she starts off, you know, kind of strong. And she comes into the kitchen while we're doing our spiritual hour, deep connecting. And Anna goes,
I wake up 100.
me and Lisa are like twitching here, getting pulled out of our meditative state. And I said, you know what, Anna, I need a Fogo de Chao card. And if you guys know Fogo de Chao, it's a Brazilian steakhouse where you have this little card that's red and green. And you know, when you're kind of full, you don't want to eat anymore, you turn that card to red and they stop serving you meat, right? So we use this card because we need Anna to just stop serving words. Like, just, I'm full. But we love you for that. And I feel, you know, safe enough to tell you that I just like would like some peace and quiet
Yeah.
and knowing that you won't take it personal.
Yep. And immediately I said, oh, that makes sense.
That's such
Yeah.
a great example of just clearly communicating your boundaries
Yeah.
and
Yes.
setting that out so that we all can continue to be friends.
Yeah.
And you can love that person and love yourself at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Because some people see that as some sort of a sacrificial exchange. Like, oh, because I love myself, I need to cut them off,
Yeah.
say certain things to them and hurt them. And same thing, oh, I love you, so I let you say and do things to me and hurt me. But you can have both. You can love yourself and say, I like my space and my quiet
Yeah.
time. And I also love what you have to say too, just not
not
right
right
now.
Got it. No, and also it's like a progression. They told me progression in the morning. Don't start off at 100. Just start off at 50 and then build up to it.
And then get permission.
Yeah. But you know that's part of friendship and growing is taking in feedback, not taking it personal.
Yeah.
And I love you guys. And you sharing that with me, it didn't hurt me. I look at you and I'm like, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to bother you. I don't want to annoy you guys. Say less. see y'all in an hour.
Let me know when that card is green.
I know. And I'm gonna come 100.
I love that. That was such a good time. Okay, how about this? They're honest even when it's uncomfortable, but they always lead with love.
Yes.
Yes. So I have a story, and it's about you. It's on. It's not tea. It's good. But there have been many times in our friendship where you've had difficult conversations with me about things that I don't even see. And I know how hard it must have been for you to communicate certain things, especially when I was going through lower seasons. We talked about this earlier, but I was already, in my low. I'm confused and I'm distressed. I'm just not Anna.
Yeah.
And you helped me get out of my own head.
Ooh.
The words are harsh. She has a sharp tongue.
Ooh.
Cut. Knife. But they're always said with love. And I know they're coming from a place of love. And you communicate in a way where it's done strong for a reason, like you said earlier, to wake me up. And I appreciate that. I love that. And so you definitely pull me out of my head. She is a green flag. And you need that different perspective.
And I would speak on this as like, when I say lead with love, I think it's easy to do the easy thing, which is not say something.
Yes.
It's easy to cop out and be like, well, if they really wanted to know, they'll ask.
Yeah.
Or it's really easy to cop out and say, well, they're going to learn eventually. And I feel like if you really, really love them, not only will you continue to be there with them,
Yeah.
but you'll fight for them.
Yes.
You'll fight for the version that they say they want to be
Exactly.
by eating the broccoli
Yeah.
and doing the hard thing.
Yeah.
And
broccoli.
sometimes it's rejected too. Because
Yeah.
sometimes maybe you're not ready for that kind of message.
Yeah.
And you got to take some arrows,
Yeah.
to try to get the message across. But if it's led with love and they know in their heart that it is, then they won't take it personal as well.
Yeah.
And just in due time, they'll come around. And I think when they're out of that season,
Yeah.
they'll see they'll appreciate the persistence
Yeah.
and the efforts to try to like make that change, because it's not easy and nobody wants to be that person in the friendship to hurt them on the surface.
Yeah.
But I think if you have a real strong belief that they can be the version that they say they want to be, and they can be a better version than they are being at the time, then you'll fight for that version.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. All right, how about this one? They're okay with you having other close friendships and celebrate those too.
Oh, green.
Friendships aren't scarce, they're abundant.
Yeah.
They make hard conversations feel safe, a sacred space. They're not available all the time, but they're present when they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by not available all the time? You mean they're just like, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they're halfway around the globe, or maybe they're at a slumber party, or
Slumber party? You mean like this one?
Yeah. So the first thought that comes to my head is no one's gonna be there 100% of the time. That would mean you're codependent.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
that's another episode.
yeah. So they're not gonna be there all the time, but when they are, how do they show up? And that's what matters. And that's why I say green.
I love that. And to recap everything that we said today, I definitely think that friendships should energize you and not exhaust you. And if you're seeing red flags in friendships, don't ignore them. Trust your intuition. And there's no such thing as a perfect green flag, but all the red flags can turn green.
Yes, agreed. And some exercises for you guys today after watching this episode, and some thoughts to journal on is, are you the red flag? And if you are, what are you gonna do to turn into a green one? Or are you a green flag that is making excuses for red flags in your life? And the reality is we all are green flags and red flags. We have them all. And the goal is not to be perfect, because you'll never be perfect, but it's about growth, it's about love, and it's about constantly evolving.
I love that. But here's the truth. Friendships can get messy. And we all have these red flags, and we can all be the green flags. But whenever your bestie is displaying red flags, are you helping them turn those red flags to green flags? And whenever you're displaying red flags, are your friends showing up in a way to help you turn those red flags into green flags? So I hope the point that we're making today is these behavior exists in all of us and in all friendships, in all seasons, to be honest with you. But it's the continual growth, it's the constant communication, the setting of boundaries, and leading with love that helps transform these relationships and deepen our friendships into the best bestie. So if you love today's episode, please do us a favor and share it. Follow our journey. And we would love to hear your thoughts about today's episodes in the comments. We look forward to reading them and talking about them, because we feel like you'll be here with us, chatting with us on this couch, talking about the same red and green flags. And the last thing is, I want to challenge you. Maybe grab your bestie or somebody that you want to get closer with and have a conversation with them about your red flags and their red flags and your green flags and how you can be a better friend. Because in this podcast, we want to give you the tools, give you the inspiration to be the best bestie.
Yes.
So we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.